Greetings, Acolytes. Today's video is more of a fun thought experiment than anything. I'm sure you all remember the speedrunning craze that happened with Minecraft a few years ago, and while I suck at speedrunning, I had a fun idea. What if you could speedrun Demon Princedom? Is this a smart, practical, or in any way sane idea? Absolutely not, which is why I decided to talk about it. First off, let's go over the basics of what we need to understand what I'm talking about. Demon Princedom is the ultimate reward for a mortal follower of Chaos, where the gods infuse you with their power to make you an immortal demon, as well as their eternal slave, but let's gloss over that part. In order to do this, you have to do something truly grand to show the gods that making you a demon prince is a worthwhile investment. In 40k, this usually involves either a planet, solar system, or even an entire sector of space being directly affected by your actions in a way that boosts either all of the gods or just one of your choosing if you follow one of the four. Khorne wants you to kill people in an honorable way, Slaanesh wants excess of either pleasure or pain, Nurgle wants disease, death, and famine, and Tzeentch just wants you to fuck everyone over in a really big scheme or pull off some insane ritual. Or he could give it to you on a whim because consistency is anathema to Tzeentch, but we're going to try and stick to his known themes. I'm going to do this in order for each god, as well as an undivided one, but I'll lay out the format now. I'm going to be ignoring Marines for this because they have way more resources and inherent ties than the average mortal. Basically, they have the cheats codes to get it faster. Because of that, we'll be ignoring them. We're going to talk about what kind of position you need to put yourself in, the methods you should take, how to scale it up, and what your end goal should be. The kind of plan you're on will also matter, but any of these can be done theoretically on any world, but some will likely yield better results for certain gods. Except for death worlds, because they already suck for the people living there. The caveat to all of this is that it's not a guarantee in any regard. We have lore of characters being made into demon princes for small things and never being turned into ones for large scale things beyond mortal comprehension. So unfortunately, the speedrun technically hinges on random chance, but we will be stacking the deck as high as we can to have the highest likelihood of success, and we'll be operating on the assumption that we will succeed because of it. First up, we have Khorne, because he's both simple and my favorite. Khorne wants grand scale violence. The closer and more brutal, the better. I recommend either a hive world or a fortress world, or become a commander and the guard for this, and I'll explain the best methods to gain his favor. For a hive world, you want to be either joining a fighting ring or starting one. Take on opponents and dedicate the matches to Khorne in a subtle way if possible, be it in numbers, iconography, or other subliminal messaging. Not the most honorable, but hear me out. As the fights get more popular, and they definitely will get more brutal, you should cement yourself as the champion. Take on bigger and better opponents and gain a following of people you can influence to be under Khorne's sway. As you go, Khorne will most likely start blessing you with greater strength so you can keep fighting better. Once you have a full-size cult blessed by Khorne, you should consider starting a gang. Nothing too big, but you want to become large enough that the hive politics has to notice you, while also not being too large or corrupted because you don't want an inquisitor to be sent after you. You want the bloodlust in the cult to spread and snowball until the entire hive world of tens of billions of people are killing each other with their bare hands, with you as the conductor to the symphony of bloodshed. For corrupting and killing so many, Khorne is likely to grant you Demon Princedom. The second planet to do this on would be a fortress world because it's both easier and harder. Soldiers are easy to stir into violence in 40k, but fortress worlders can be hard to corrupt, especially if it's somewhere like Hadia that always fights chaos anyways. The third option for Khorne is also more of a leadership position, which is kind of a running theme you'll notice for most of these methods. Hope you have passable social skills unlike me. Anyways, the third option requires you to join the Imperial Guard and somehow climb the ranks. Once you're higher up, follow a similar, if not the same method as before. Your goal is to turn your army into a chaos warband of Khorne, and even take over a world for solely that purpose if possible. If you lead your army to great enough heights, it's likely Khorne will grant you Demon Princedom, much like Genghis Khan. Yes, that is canon, I will not hear otherwise. Overall with Khorne, so long as people die and you aren't hiding like a coward to do it, and if you keep scaling it up and play your cards right, it's entirely possible to achieve Demon Princedom. It's also a lot easier to do when you do everything yourself. Mind you, this is the quote-unquote simplest way to become a Demon Prince, but none of the methods I am describing are in any way inherently easy. Immortality, as it turns out, is rather hard to earn. The second god on this list is Nurgle, because I am going in terms of simplicity. I recommend a hive world or agri world for this, and you'll soon see why. This mostly relies on two similar but different methods depending on the type of world. Back again with the hive world, it's relatively simple. Get put in charge of the water filtration, air recycling, or other some system for life support. Then spread disease into it. If you've managed to be blessed by Nurgle already with the disease, this shouldn't be too hard, If not, sabotage or poison works too. The ailment of your choosing will sweep through the lower hive, causing massive casualties, and if it's a Nurgle disease already, maybe even spreading corruption as well, bringing more followers into the fold. The agri-world is very similar in concept and execution. Either poison the crops so that they all die, infect it so that eating the food spreads the disease, or just turn the planet into one of Nurgle's gardens through a large enough ritual. Agri-worlds are perfect for Nurgle because of the scale of impact. Agri-worlds feed entire subsectors sometimes. Using one as a method of infection could get billions upon billions killed, infected, and if it's a corrupting plague, even converted to Nurgle's side. Both of these methods are very similar, but spreading disease, plague, rot, death, and decay is like Nurgle's whole thing, so positioning yourself to be able to do that effectively is key. Up next is She Who Thirsts, Slaanesh. I'm going to suggest a paradise/pleasure world. Hive worlds work too because of the larger amount of people, but I recommend these worlds due to the easy access to, let's say, specific materials. If you're on a pleasure world, chances are you'll have better access to more influential people like planetary governors and other rich folks. They come for the enjoyable experience, so slowly getting them to harder and harder substances and experiences, while maybe whispering about She Who Thirsts. People want to feel good, and rich people in 40k rarely care about human lives. You could even get them to fund your endeavors if you get them in deep enough. Once again, keep snowballing this until you get an entire planet. What to do once you have an entire planetary cult or something close? You have some options. Planetary orgy, planetary torture, or even just mass suicide to experience the feeling of death. Make some grand ritual that'll affect everyone on the planet, and potentially beyond. If you play your cards right and draw out enough feeling from everyone one way or another, chances are you will achieve Demon Princedom, or at least the means and blessings to achieve it. And lastly, and most certainly the most complicated, we have Tzeentch. Tzeentch wants you to be devious and oftentimes invoke some grand ritual or magical might. I recommend a shrine world because the deception of corrupting that many of the pure and faithful is more likely to earn his favor. As with everywhere, you also need to position yourself. But this time it matters only that you can influence those around you. Teach them the secrets of Tzeentch and call them the blessings of the Emperor, and disguise all of your doings as such. Lie, scheme, and backstab until you begin completing rituals. Begin granting powers to other followers and spread the word of the Blue Emperor. Once the cult spreads, you can revolt and claim the world, calling the people in power heretics and getting yourself put in charge. Use the most faithful as a sacrifice, using their stupidity and faith as fuel to drag the world into the warp. Chances are this will get Tzeentch's direct attention, and he will grant you psychic powers and maybe Demon Princedom. But also at the same time, he might just turn you into a puppy without eyes for shits and giggles. Tzeentch is the least likely one to reward you for your efforts, but if you play your cards right, he might see better fit to use you as a demon prince in his grand scheme. Now I reiterate, none of these methods are guaranteed and require you to position yourself for maximum effect. This can take years to decades depending on your place in society. Lie, cheat, steal, or genuinely work hard, as long as you don't get caught and manage to be placed somewhere with responsibility, you can absolutely achieve Demon Princedom. I say speedrun because it's a semi-reliable and potentially fast way to achieve it during the normal mortal lifespan for a human in 40k. If you wanted to do Chaos Undivided, do a mix of all the methods above on a hive world. Corrupt people, get them into certain drugs, fist fights, spread disease, anything will do. Hive worlds are the most reliable simply because of the amount of souls they have on them compared to any other type of world in the Imperium. If you have any methods or ways for a regular human to achieve Demon Princedom in a kind of reliable way, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear how you would achieve immortality through the Dark Gods. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking or maybe subscribing, as your support goes a long way to giving me the strength to keep making content for you all. I have my TikTok, public Discord server, Twitter, and Twitch all linked below, so please check them out if you like my content and to see what else I make. I stream weekly on Twitch on Wednesdays with other streams sprinkled throughout the week. So follow me at twitch.tv/BrotherSendrax and leave your notifications on to catch me live. As always, thank you all so much for watching and take care out there.